All right, so in that last program, we successfully doubled a number every time, displayed it, but we ran into trouble when we got too big. Our numbers got bigger than an integer allows. So we have to figure out some way to fix that. A good place to look might be in the PowerPoint slides. And so this is our program that just started making zeros. And let's go over here. Variables, yeah, definitely. That's what happened. We got too big. So too big. All right, serial plotter. Oh yeah, we didn't do that. We'll do that later. So now we have to have some control structures. For instance, if something got too big, what do we do about it, right? Um, yeah, and another thing here, you don't memorize this stuff, right? Every time you get stuck, hold on, I'm going to turn on my webcam because this is important, right? Every time you get stuck, and you're going to get stuck a lot, right? I believe it or not, as I'm like preparing these programs and these mistakes that I'm making, I did actually make a whole bunch of mistakes. I'm like, what the hell? So I had to Google it and say, why is it printing this instead of this, or why isn't this working? I'm like, oh yeah, totally, that's right, right? Because it's been about a year since I played with an Arduino a lot. You forget, you Google it, and you say, oh, someone else had this problem, right? Use Google. A lot of people, ask me a lot of kind of funny questions about SolidWorks or about, just other stuff. I'm like, hey, did you try Google yet, right? So Google stuff and say, hey, Arduino doesn't print correctly, and then you'll find some answer to that question, right? So please use Google a lot. But the first thing we're going to do is this if-else statement, right? So what does an if-else statement do? So if something is true, I'm going to evaluate the stuff that's in these curly brackets, right? Otherwise, I'm going to do something else, right? Now, the if it's true, right, has to look like this. Is A less than B, right? If, for instance, if the temperature is lower than 100 degrees, turn the heater on. Is A less than or equal to B, right? Similar. Is A greater than B? If the temperature is over 110 degrees, again, like the hot tub example, turn the heater off. Or if A is greater than or equal to. Now, if A equals, right? The double equals is a logical test, right? A equals B sets it equal, right? That says A, I'm going to set A equal to B. A equals B is it equal to B, right? So double equals means it's a question. Single equals says actually do it. So if I say if A equals B, then, I'm running out of disk space here. If A equals B, then, you have to use the double equals. All right, so I think that's the next thing. Yeah, here we go. Here's an example. So let's go back over to our example here. I'm going to hit the reset button on my Arduino just so we remember what the problem was. I'm going to reset my Arduino. It resets everything. The numbers just keep doubling. And then it gets really big, and then all of a sudden it crashes. I think the computer people call it a stack overflow. My number got too big. So I need to do something. Let's say I only want to count, let's say I'm going to make some, I only want this to work up to 1,000, okay, or up to n equals 1,000. All right, so I'm going to write a statement. If, and then I do this, I'm going to say if n is greater than 1,000, then what do? I make another set of curly brackets. And now I've got a problem, so I got to make my second set of curly brackets right away. Oop, that's the wrong direction. Right. So now the stuff that happens in these, wow, look at all the curly brackets piling up here. Oh, I know what happened there. Ooh, this is a very important thing to notice here. Let's get rid of all this. I'm going to write this if statement. If n is greater than 1,000, this is important to see here. Oh, not 100,000. And I make this first curly bracket. It makes the second one for me. Right, so this one got put in here automatically. And that didn't show up very well. So anyway, then if n is greater than 1,000, I'm going to reset n. I'm going to say n equals 1. Right? Okay, and then so if n is greater than 1,000, only the things inside these curly brackets happens. So then it goes here. So what's going to happen? It's going to double, 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 double. It starts as 1. It goes on here. Is 1 greater than 1,000? No, it's not. So it skips all this stuff. And then it says, okay, there's nothing else. So it just goes back to the beginning of this loop. So it prints that number. All right. I think that's supposed to know what's supposed to happen. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, and then we go to our serial monitor again, see what's happening there. Whoop, it started without me. I'm going to hit the white button again on my Arduino to reset everything. Oh, and it appears to be working. Okay, doubles, 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 doubles. 5, 256, 512. Oh, and then I got too big and a reset. Wow, that actually worked. Well, let's say I want some bigger numbers. All right. So let's say if it goes up to 10,000. Let's see if that works. Okay, and then we go back to the serial monitor, see what's going on. Looks like it already started. Yep, okay, it's getting bigger. 1,000, now it's getting really big. And then it starts over again. Cool. So, what did this do? It keeps doubling, 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 doubling. And every time I do it, I check. Is it bigger than 1,000? No. Skips it, goes back, prints it, doubles it again. Is it bigger than 1,000? No. And it keeps doubling. And the first time it cracks this 10,000 mark here, 10,000, then it will reset n back down to 1, and then it prints n equal to 1. Okay, so now this is really, really interesting. I want it to work all the way up to 10,000. What if I wanted the first one that's over 10,000? Right, so how could I do that? So I'm saying it works up to 10,000. Let's go back to the serial monitor and see what's happening there. Serial monitor, working up to 10 to 4,000, 8,000. What the heck? It never makes it over there. So if I just move this around a little bit, if I print it, I'm going to take this print line here. I'm going to take that out there, and I'm just going to move where this happens. Okay, so all I did was move the print line down to here. Right, I moved it from here down to here. Let's see how that happens. Serial monitor. Okay, yeah, so everything's just happening the way it's supposed to. Whoa! What now? That doesn't make any sense to me, right? By just moving where I printed it, it doubles it, right? I shouldn't allow it to go over 10,000, right? But it does. It's going over 10,000. Why is that? Because I doubled it, I printed it, and then I checked, right? So I just went ahead and I'm going to print it, but then I checked it's over 10,000, I reset it. So the order that you do these baby steps really matters, okay? Well, all right, that's the end of that lesson. So the order matters. We can do some if-then statements. And I think that's all the examples we're going to need to get through this week's lab.